Hello. Hi. We in here. Let's do it. How are you? Good, good. I see some people in the chat already. Ready to get started. So I'm going to give it 5 minutes for people to show up, trickle in. Um, we're going to be here for a half hour, so it's going to fly by super quickly. And we're going to do about 20 minutes of poetry or so. We'll see. And then we'll wrap up with Q&A and, typical promotions. Um, but yeah, I've got a poll for all of you who are here already. If you've never used Crowdcast, there should be a little thing that says polls. So, as everybody's trickling in, let me know, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Are you going to take the risk of traveling to see your family? Are you going to do a COVID safe outside family Thanksgiving? Or are you going to stay with your local community and have food with your friends? Are you gonna ride solo? That's what I'm doing this year, riding solo, doing Thanksgiving virtually from my place with my family in Long Beach. Or are you doing something that can't even fit into these categories because you cannot be defined? Yep, so we're gonna start in about 3 minutes. I see people trickling in. Hello, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. I would really, thanks. I see you, Mom. I just want to see you guys in the chat. It's really encouraging for me. So who's here? Check out the poll. We're gonna get started in about 2.5 minutes. For those of you who just got in, we're only gonna be here for a half hour today. It's just gonna be nice, short and sweet. And we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna focus on family, gratitude, and I actually got really inspired while putting this together. Found a lot of poems about the season, and so I'm just gonna throw that in as a secret bonus theme that you weren't even ready for. All right, let's see. I see some polls coming. It looks like most people are doing family gatherings. I'm surprised. I expected to see more Friendsgiving this year. 2020 has been a year, to say the least. So yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I figured I'd dress like a pumpkin, a little pumpkin with like a little brown sugar going on at the top. What is there? Pie? Pumpkin pie? Yeah, you can call me pumpkin pie for this session. But we're gonna get started pretty soon. Thank you so much for showing up. Like I said, love having you guys here. Love sharing this moment with you. The first time I did a poetry reading, it was patron only, invite only. It was a really small, intimate group, and it was a lot of fun. This time I kind of branched out, invited some of my friends, some of my family, put some ads out there on the internet to see, who is interested in spending their Sunday afternoon pre-Thanksgiving, just mellowing out, just listening to some poetry, just getting your soul fed. So I'm really, really happy to have you all here. Got about 1 more minute to let people show up, set up, register. I know it's a platform that is probably not very common. Has anyone used this platform before? Yes, thank you, Chad. I know the first one was so good. Well, if you're new to Crowdcast, I will say a few things about it. It's pretty great. There are polls, so if you haven't already, definitely fill out the poll. I'm curious what you guys are up to for Thanksgiving. This is also going to serve as my monthly patron Q&A. So if you have questions, oh, hey, Colin, good to see you. Feel free to drop your questions in the ask a question section. We're going to have 5 minutes at the end for questions. And then there should be a link that I added called Become a Patron. And I'll talk more about that at the end. So don't quite worry about that one just yet, but it'll definitely come in handy a little bit later. But it is time. Thank you, Mom. Yes, I love having my family in here, so it feels good, especially because we won't be able to see each other later this week. So this is one of the few live events. But all right, so thank you guys for coming. We're gonna dive straight in. Like I said, this poetry reading is primarily focused on family and gratitude, but I was so inspired by the weather and by this outfit that we're just gonna ease in with some poems about fall and autumn. I'm going to read a mix today of poems that I've written myself, as well as poems that I have scoured the internet for. But we're going to pop it off with an original short poem that I wrote 3 years ago when I moved to San Francisco to pursue my career in robotics. All right. This poem is called My Autumn in SF. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm using this new mic. this new giant mic that my patrons funded. So just shout out to all my patrons in the audience for just funding the stream and making it happen. This is My Autumn in SF. Stolen sleep and frazzled dreams, rustles, creaks, and muffled screams, welling up with tears of pity, ignore harsh sounds of the city, new commute and morning hobbies, stepping over tattered bodies, high alert, must be aware, eye contact to show you care, early wake to glimpse the light, plunged into short-ceasing night, dark when you get there, dark when you leave, colorless faces, colorful leaves, the long dark has returned, the candles of summer light have burned, the long dark has returned. It's time to test what you have learned. So that was My Autumn in SF. I live in the Nob Hill area, probably more south, closer to the Tender Knob area. We have a huge population of homeless in San Francisco, and it was shocking to me to be exposed to just that level of poverty. And I've been excited to see some of the things that the city is doing even now and during COVID times to make more space to welcome and to house these people. But that poem really captures my first shocking experience of California fall, but also the realities of living in a densely populated, overcrowded city that doesn't always show love to the people in our community. So now I'm going to read a few poems by some other authors that I found really interesting and inspiring. This first poem is called November for Beginners, and it's by Rita Dove. This one was actually featured in Poetry Magazine, which is a pretty cool honor. All right, November for Beginners. Snow would be the easy way out, that softening sky like a sigh of relief at finally being allowed to yield. No dice. We stack twigs for burning and glistening patches, but the rain won't give. So we wait, breeding mute, making music of decline. We sit down in the smell of the past and rise in a light that is already leaving. We ache in secret, memorizing a gloomy line or two of German. When spring comes, we promise to act the fool, pour rain, sail, wind, with your cargo of zithers. That was November for Beginners, and I actually had to Google what zithers were, and they're this kind of like melodic stringed instruments. Oh, thank you. Yes. I kind of get into the zone there, you know? Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. I'm gonna keep it flowing because we only have 22 minutes left, which is so sad. But I'm gonna keep it moving. But thank you so much for your comments. I do appreciate it. Welcome for those who just joined. This is my November poetry reading. I'm Jasmine. If we don't already know each other, I think I know everybody who's showing up, but just in case, welcome. This next poem is called My Autumn Leaves, and it's by Bruce Weigel. I watch the wood for deers as if I'm armed. I watch the wood for deers who never come. I know the he's and she's in autumn rendezvous in orchards stained with falling apple scent. I drive my car this way to work so that I may let the crows in the corn believe that their caws are meant to warn. And snakes who turn and warm in secret caves, they know me too. They know the boy who lives inside me still won't go away. The deers are ghosts who slip between the light through trees. So you may only hear the snap of branches in the thicket beyond hope. I watch the woods for deers as if I'm armed. Whew. I love that one. That one's got something inside of it. I'm sure that we've all been in a situation where we're on guard, where we're on our toes, and we're on alert. I'm curious what that is for all of you. I just want to say, if you have questions about me, feel free to drop them in the Ask a Question section in Crowdcast. Thank you, Christy! Welcome, Christy. Oh, Christy is the great-grandmother or grandmother of some of my plants. I guess you're a great-grandmother now. This is Jayla, one of my plant babies that came from Christy's home. So good to see you. Good to have you here. My next poem, or not my next poem, but the next poem I'm going to serve for you guys today is called Beginning. And I really like this poem because Because autumn is not just the end of things, it's actually a moment to refresh and restart. And I love that perspective, focusing more on the life that is to come rather than the death that we might be witnessing around us. So this poem is called Beginning by James Wright. The moon drops one or two feathers into the field. The dark wheat listens. Be still. Now. There they are, the moon's young, trying their wings. Between trees, a slender woman lifts up the lovely shadow of her face. And now she steps into the air. Now she is gone, wholly into the air. I stand alone by an elder tree. I do not dare breathe or move. I listen. The wheat leans back towards its own darkness, and I lean into mine. For me, it was that last two lines of leaning into your own darkness. Oh, hey, thank you. Yeah, leaning into your own darkness. I think we all celebrate, the best parts of ourselves and the things that we're proud of. And I think sometimes we do have to look into our own darkness and what's inside of ourselves and just examine that. Maybe it's not all bad, but, I think there's multiple sides to everyone. Thank you all so much for showing up today. I just appreciate having all of you in my life. I'm going to transition now into a poem that I wrote for my little sister. I'm not sure if she's here. Her name is Honesty. And she's probably working. She just got a job, which is fantastic. So proud of her. But this one is called The Odd Sisters. It's a short poem that I wrote on a day where, I had pretty much the same hairstyle, same lipstick. We were hanging out together. But this one is for my little sister, Honesty, who just became my patron today. Thank you so much. I can't believe that she's being so generous and she just got her first job. So this is called The Odd Sisters. We are the weird ones, palindrome girls, creative fashionistas, masters of curls. We are the writers, singers of truth, jazz melodies, and honest proof. That's it. Just a small one. Believe it or not, we are really palindrome girls. I was born in a palindrome year, and so is she, which is pretty cool. We both are big fans of natural hair. I'm a writer. She's a singer. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a strict artist, but it's something that I'm working on bringing out of myself. But she is absolutely my inspiration. She plays piano, guitar. She does everything. So I just want to make sure that I shout out my sister, since one of the themes of today is family. So this next poem is another one that I wrote. It's called They Grow Up So Fast. Aw. And this one is based on a prompt that I read. So one of the things that I've been doing over the last few months that I've been kind of leaning into this whole poetry hobby is finding different prompts to inspire me. A lot of the times I write about my own life and experiences, but I wanted to try something new and really, really challenge myself. So this poem, the prompt for this poem was a father watching all his children leave the house. So here it is. They grow up so fast. One of my absolute favorite poems. Let's do it. 4 little humans, copies of me, shadows of their mother, may she rest in peace. 4 little people growing up fast, walking and talking and getting diaper rash. 4 little students going to school, doing their homework and trying to be cool. 4 little drivers finding their way, staying out late and looking for bae. 4 young boys apply for degrees. 3 stay nearby, but one's overseas. 4 young men emerge unafraid, prepared for their futures and the paths they laid. 4 empty beds, no noise in the hall. A quiet old house, I know that they'll call. 4 black suits, I guess it's my time. I know that my boys will continue to climb. That was They Grow Up So Fast. I'm not a parent myself, but I'm familiar with this journey of growing up and your relationship to your parents changing and evolving over time. If you have family that is far away or older relatives, this is definitely the time to reach out with them to them and reconnect. This next poem is it's by someone called Edgar Guest, and I found this one in my I know it's a little sad in my hunting for poems, and Yeah, this one is for all the dads out there, or for those who have lost your fathers or are missing your dads, wherever they may be. This one is yeah, it's called Only a Dad. Only a dad with a tired face, coming home from the daily race, bringing little of gold or fame to show how well he has played the game, but glad in his heart that his own rejoice to see him come home and to hear his voice. Only a dad with a brood of four, one of 10 million men or more, plodding along in the daily strife, bearing the whips and the scorns of life, with never a whimper of pain or hate for the sake of those who at home await. Only a dad, neither rich nor proud, merely one of the surging crowd, toiling, striving from day to day, facing whatever may come his way, silent whenever the harsh condemn, and bearing it all for the love of them. Only a dad, but he gives his all to smooth the way for his children small, doing with courage stern and grim the deeds that his father did for him. This is the line that I pen for him. Only a dad, but the best of men. That one was one of my absolute favorites. My parents separated when I was pretty young, but my dad has always tried to be very active in my life. He turned 50 this year, but he lives in DC on the other side of the country. So I just want to shout out my dad, but also shout out to the moms, especially the single moms who live this same struggle of just working day in and day out for their kids. Yeah, it is something to be admired and appreciated for sure. But speaking of fathers, my grandfather, it's been a tough year for him, losing the ability to walk, just being in and out of the hospitals, and having all of this happen during COVID times has made things really challenging. And my mom has really been the hero of our family, going out there and taking care of him. So I thought that I would share this poem that I wrote for my grandfather back when I was in, I don't know, high school probably. And it was the last time that I had a big scare that we would maybe lose him. This isn't something I've ever shared before. So one of the things that I do with my patrons is I share secret poems with them, poems that aren't quite like for everybody. So I really appreciate you guys showing up today so that I can share this secret poem with you about my grandfather. It's called Granddaddy because that's what we call him. But you'll learn his name throughout the poem. This is a bit of a longer one, so buckle up. Granddaddy. This is lemon juice in the wounds. This is the icing on the cake. This is disease without cure. This is the last straw it could take. This is way more than words could yet describe. It is every pre-ounce of my life. This is a death unspoken. This is a chain unbroken. He is the beginning, but he won't be the end. He is a love, the man, a friend. He is the reason I try and try again. I can't, I won't, I'll never lose him. He is late nights and joyous collecting. He is the sweet things and journeys unending. He is black and white and multicolored cartoon. He is Mr. Clean from midnight to noon. He is the magic touch. He is the candy man. He is the nicknamer. He is his lifespan. He is the one and only. He is the early bird. He is the night owl. He is the spoken word. He is, forevermore he'll be. I won't let this change take him away from me. I've got him in my heart. I've got him in my dreams. I've got the memories and the pictures and the videos we stream. I can't forget his fury or his purely childlike smile. I can't forget his numbers, though it has been quite a while. I can't forget his love for me. So proud he always was of me. I live for his great legacy. He has no shame, no blame. 3 names and 1 smooth sound. James MacArthur Brown. Whew. That one's for my grandfather when, he's just struggling with a lot of health issues. I want to say he's 75 now. But yeah, that one was a little tough to read. I really thought that he was gonna be gone, and I know that that happens. Some of us may have lost loved ones this year, and it's not easy. It's not easy. So I just want to, use this opportunity to just continue to encourage you to reconnect with those who you love, friends or family, because they can absolutely be gone in a flash. I know that we're not all on good terms with our family, and that this season is particularly difficult when it comes to that. But no worries, I have a poem for you as well, a short and sweet one for all of you. Oh, hey Al, so good to see you here. I miss you. This poem is a short one. It's called The Family Court, and it was written by Ogden Nash. Family Court. One would be in less danger from the wiles of a stranger if one's own kin and kith were more fun to be with. I love this poem because it acknowledges that our families sometimes are the people that can hurt us the deepest and hurt us the most sometimes. But they're still our family, and that's really all I have to say about that. But yeah, I want to talk about a broader family now in the few minutes we have left. Our human family. And I could not do a poetry reading and not feature an amazing poem by the great Maya Angelou. Of course, I have to do it. It's been a really divisive year in our country lately, and I hope that these words can remind you of a simple truth. So I'm going to read you Human Family by Maya Angelou. I note the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious. Some of us thrive on comedy. Some declare their lives are lived as true profundity, and others claim they really live the real reality. The variety of our skin tones can confuse, bemuse, delight. Brown and pink and beige and purple, tan and blue and white. I've sailed upon the seven seas and stopped in every land. I've seen the wonders of the world, not yet one common man. I know 10,000 women called Jane and Mary Jane, but I've not seen any two who really were the same. Mirror twins are different, although their features jibe, and lovers think quite different thoughts while lying side by side. We love and lose in China. We weep on England's moors, and laugh and moan in Guinea, and thrive on Spanish shores. We seek success in Finland, are born and die in Maine. In minor ways we differ, in major we're the same. I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. Yes, we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. Once more, we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. Man, she just speaks she speaks so much truth. I think this is what we need to remember. It doesn't matter who you voted for, it doesn't matter where you live, where you came from. We are more alike than we are different. And I just challenge you to lean into how much you have in common with your neighbors, how much you have in common with people who disagree with you. We all need water to survive. We all breathe in and out every day. We all love and live and have struggles. And, though we have different strategies and methods for dealing with all of our needs, there's so much that brings us together. There's so much that can bring us together if we step into it. So if you can believe it, we are already at the end of poems. That happened really quickly. I want to wrap with one of gratitude. Your life, I'll say your life, it might not look like. This is something my mom inspired in a recent conversation we had, that your life might not look like the blueprint that you made for yourself. It might not look like the blueprint that you feel was handed to you, but it's your life and it's your journey and it's your mission, whatever it may be. And yeah, there's just so much to be grateful for. So I'm gonna read you one of my newest and favorite poems that I've written to wrap up the poetry section. It's called "The Doing of the Lesser Thing." I have no partner in this world, no friend who chose to give a ring. A single life I can enjoy, the doing of the lesser thing. And when I read, it's with my ears, 'cause paper's for recycling. I never feel the format shame, the doing of the lesser thing. And every day I go to work, my labor for this techie king. What joy my products bring to earth while doing of the lesser thing. I got this job from things I learned online. I pulled all kinds of strings. No Ivy debt. I don't regret the doing of the lesser thing. My path, it might be strange and weird and twisted, but every day I find new songs to sing. There is no one way to success, I swear. None greater than the lowly, lesser thing. That's it, y'all. That is it. Those are my poems and poems that I discovered and found for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this chill Sunday afternoon of just listening to the words and thoughts and feelings of other people. It has been my joy and my pleasure to share this moment. Yes, Al, gratitude is the best attitude. I hope you feel full and lifted. I hope that you reach out to your family members that you love. I'm going to take a look at the two questions that we have in here. Oh, okay. So this first question is from Crystal. She says, is this your favorite season? It might be my favorite season, but I really do love summer. I really do. I love coming out, being out, getting to the beach. But other than summer, I would say, yeah, autumn is probably my favorite season. And I love that they're right next to each other. Thank you. Thank you for your question, Crystal. This next question is from Chad. Is there one poet that inspires you more than any other? I don't have a poem that is, or a poet that most inspires me per se, but Edgar Allan Poe was always my favorite poet. I know he's definitely more on the darker side, but if you come to another poetry reading in the future, we will definitely get into the sad side of things, I promise you. A lot of my poetry comes out of the hard moments of my life. So yeah, I would say Edgar Allan Poe. Another shout out to my dad, because one time I was in Richmond and we actually went and visited Edgar Allan Poe's house. And that was just such a meaningful moment that we got to share one-on-one time together. Thank you. Thank you so much for your questions. It has been my pleasure to be here with you. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you answering the poll. It looks like a lot of you are going to be able to spend this quality time with your family. I have just a few shout outs and links that I want to share in the chat, so bear with me while I try and do this multitask. First off, I just want to give a little shout out for myself. And if you haven't already, to encourage you to check out my Patreon. This is where I'm sharing month over month my journey to putting together a book of poetry. This is a small, tight-knit community of people who are funding whatever is necessary for this poetry journey, this mic, the ads for this poetry reading, the publishing fees for a poem that I just launched on Spotify and Apple Music called Clementine Sky. So definitely look out for that, Clementine Sky, wherever you listen to music. This community of people just support me day in and day out and let me share my thoughts and secret poems. And they also give me feedback. If you guys have any feedback about this poetry reading, what could have made it better, what you hated about it, let me know, because I'm definitely in this to grow as a person and just to share and bring positivity to the world. But with my last 1 minute that I have with you, I want to share this event. It is a virtual 5K that's going on, a virtual 5K, so you can run it wherever you are. This is being hosted by an organization called Root Down. It's a community organization that was founded by my little sister, Crystal. She is raising money to ensure that college senior or high school and college seniors in 2021, that they can give them a scholarship to purchase their books. So whether you run or not, I feel like you should still register and give it up for this good cause. I know you remember how expensive your books were, whether you were going to school or just doing your own self-educating. Books are not cheap. and kids still need to buy them. So I just want to shout out to my sister who is pursuing her passion project and make sure that at the end of my moment on whatever platform that I have the opportunity to lift up and empower other women, other entrepreneurs, other creatives, and just to send love back to my friends and family who have always been a part of my journey, whether it's been my career in robotics or just supporting me through buying Eden products. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you too. Yes, I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for coming out today. That is a wrap. This will be recorded so you can watch it later at your leisure or share it with your friends who missed out. And this is probably my last poetry reading for 2020. I will see you in the new year for a celebration of life. Have a great holiday and a wonderful rest of your 2021. Bye, everybody.